Good evening and Happy New Year's from VOC News. Welcome to our weekly VOC English program. I'm Hilary Zhou, and tonight I'll be sharing the most significant and engaging stories from Chin State this week. Here's a preview of what we have for you today. In his New Year's message, Bu Xingzhong, chairman of the Chin National Front, CNF, and Chinland Council, emphasized that 2025 will be a pivotal year for Myanmar, including Chin State. He encouraged the people to unite and work toward establishing a Chin state free from the oppressive Myanmar military regime. The operation to reclaim Falam, which began simultaneously with Mindat, has now reached its second month. Revolutionary forces reportedly control the majority of the town, with just one critical stronghold remaining, the LIB 268 military base, which is yet to be captured. A report by the Chin Human Rights Organization, CHRO, reveals that 116 civilians have been killed and 242 others injured over the past 4 years as a result of airstrikes by the brutal military junta in Chin State. In his New Year's message to the public, Bu Xingzhong, chairman of the Chin National Front, CNF, and the Chinland Council, highlighted the importance of the year 2025 for Myanmar, particularly for Chinland. He urged the people to strive for a Chinland free from the oppressive military regime and emphasized the collective effort required to achieve this goal. The year 2025 will be a crucial year for Chinland to free itself from the control of the oppressive military regime. Across the country, revolutionary forces must unite and coordinate to liberate more regions and towns from the junta's grip, he said. Bu Xingzhong also reflected on the process of the Spring Revolution, which has now entered its fourth year. He noted that revolutionary forces have successfully neutralized many enemies, resulting in heavy losses for the junta, including troops shortages and casualties. In Chinland, the military regime controls only 4 towns, Hakka, Falam, Didim, and Tantlang. He vowed to continue the fight until the military dictatorship is completely eradicated. He further called on all Chin people to come together to achieve national unity, describing this as a vital period for the Chin liberation movement. He expressed hope that 2025 would lay the foundation for stronger national solidarity among Chin people. This emergency period of resisting the military dictatorship demands greater unity, not only among revolutionary groups but also among the Chin people. To achieve Chinland's liberation, it is essential for all Chin people to work together. If there are differences in perspectives, we must resolve them through dialogue and reach solutions acceptable to everyone. Transparency and collaboration are key to building Chinland, and this is the path to success, he stated. Bu Xingzhong also emphasized that this is a divinely appointed time for Chin people to realize their long-awaited dream of Chinland. He called on all Chin people, both at home and abroad, to contribute to the national liberation movement from their respective capacities. The operation to reclaim Falam, launched on the same day as the battle for Mindat, has now entered its second month. Revolutionary forces have gained control of most parts of the town, with only one strategic position, the LIB 268 military base, remaining to be captured. Chin resistance forces continue their assault on the base, while the military junta carries out daily airstrikes using jet fighters and Y-12 aircraft, according to CNDF spokesperson Salai Dimi. On January 4th, the junta bombed Kwanglong village, resulting in the deaths of 7 civilians and 1 CNDF fighter. The Chin resistance launched the Falam Liberation Operation on November 9, 2024, and has since secured all key areas of the town except the LIB 268 base. However, the situation remains tense, with heavy fighting ongoing. The CNDF has warned civilians to avoid traveling through the town's outskirts, particularly along the evacuation routes, due to the intensified military presence. Many residents of Falam are still displaced and unable to return home, continuing to seek refuge in safer areas due to the ongoing conflict. According to the Chin Human Rights Organization, CHRO, 116 civilians have lost their lives, and 242 others have been injured in Chin State due to airstrikes by the military junta over the past 4 years. From 2021, when the military seized power, until the end of 2024, the junta has conducted 865 airstrikes in Chin State, damaging 412 buildings, including 25 religious structures, 22 schools, 8 healthcare facilities, and 7 monasteries, CHRO reported on January 3rd. Although no airstrikes were reported in Chin State in 2021, there were 22 airstrikes in 2022, 261 in 2023, and 582 in 2024, according to CHRO. On December 10, 2024, the junta bombed Chunjung village in Hakka Township twice using jet fighters, resulting in the deaths of 4 family members and injuring at least 10 others. On November 26, 2024, an airstrike on Lumtar village in Phalam Township claimed the lives of 2 healthcare workers and 5 men. The Zoe Reunification Organization, ZORO, has urged the Indian central government to reinstate the Free Movement Regime, FMR, which allows free passage across the India-Myanmar border. ZORO claims the termination of FMR has restricted border crossing rights for indigenous communities and violated their rights. The organization based in Mizoram called for the policy's reinstatement yesterday. ZORO stated that the suspension of FMR by the Indian government violates Articles 36.1 and 36.2 of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, UNDRIP, adopted in 2007. The group emphasized their commitment to fight for their rights until they are fully restored. The free movement regime established in 1968 allowed local residents along the India-Myanmar border to travel up to 16 kilometers into each other's territory without a visa. However, following its suspension, stricter controls were implemented as of January 1, 2025, particularly at the Rizokodar border crossing between Chin State's Rikodar town and Mizoram. Now, individuals crossing the border are required to obtain a border pass and prove residency within 10 kilometers of the border with documentation from village administrators. The border pass is valid for only 7 days, after which it must be returned to the issuing authorities. This new policy has created significant challenges for people crossing the border, especially for displaced civilians, students, and others living in border regions. In Hakka, Chin State, a vehicle carrying the township police chief and his team was attacked, leaving the police chief and 2 others injured, according to the Chin Defense Force, CDF Hakka. The attack occurred on the morning of January 4th as the police chief and his team were traveling to attend the 77th Independence Day celebrations in Hakka. The CDF Hakka reportedly carried out the ambush, during which the police chief sustained an eye injury and his 2 escorts were seriously wounded. The vehicle also crashed into 2 shops during the attack, causing extensive damage that required the use of a JCB machine to remove the wreckage. In a related development, it has been reported that 3 members of the Junta-aligned People's Militia stationed in Hakka defected to the CDF Hakka during the first week of January, bringing weapons and ammunition with them. The Chin State government's Ministry of Health and Sports under the National Unity Government, NUG, is recruiting healthcare workers to serve in its hospitals and clinics. The recruitment drive seeks to fill 16 positions, including specialist doctors, dental surgeons, other medical professionals, postgraduate students in medical sciences, and general and specialized nurses. Applicants must be qualified in their respective fields in good health, not affiliated with the military junta, and willing to work in locations designated by the Ministry of Health. Applications can be submitted to the Ministry of Health until January 31st without holidays. The Ministry of Health has announced that it has established plans to provide Social Security and workplace protection for healthcare workers operating during the revolution period. It also assured that in a post-revolution federal democratic system, these healthcare workers would receive life guarantees and special privileges. The ministry also recognized the sacrifices of healthcare heroes working under difficult conditions and within the civil disobedience movement, CDM, noting their invaluable contribution to the nation's healthcare services during the revolution. Thank you for tuning into this week's VOC English News program. We'll see you again next week.